And
Okay.
cool. Hey, everybody. This is Kevin, Sean, and Didi, all from our PH Ally, and we're super excited to announce that Didi is opening up a channel here very soon in compounding, specifically to compounding. Before I pass it to Didi, some announcements overall. We've got a number of things kind of opening up inside of our PH Ally. We've got a number of thought leaders that are signing on board. Make sure you stay tuned on our PH Ally on LinkedIn, and obviously go ahead and join our PH Ally by going to rphally.com, having your license and getting all loaded up. Sean, I'm going to pass it to you because I know that you have a little bit of fear related to compounding that you wanted to address with Didi, and maybe she can bring you down a notch.
I do. Thank you, Kevin. Hello, Didi. So excited for you to be launching with us today because, obviously my experience with compounding is very limited. Obviously, through pharmacy school, you did a little bit of that in lab. But then I went straight into the corporate world. Pizza's not working, thinking about that. And there was one compounding store that whenever I would pick up shifts there or floated through there, I wouldn't want to touch it. It was basically like the technician doing all the work, and I would just sign my life away with checking the boxes, and it was scary. So that's my experience with the compounding. But now after, being with you and talking with you over the last few months or over the last month trying to get this launched, it's like I'm excited for pharmacists now to learn what you did and replicate that. So that's just my excitement here. So I'm going to give you the floor, Didi, and tell us what we're up to.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I can only just imagine like how you looked in that lab. Like, were you like,
Pretty much. No, yeah, that was it.
Or did you just not touch it at all?
No, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. I was over there just like, initialing everything.
Oh my goodness. No, it's so fun. Compounding is so fun. You get to be super creative. You get to be innovative. You get to design stuff, So it's very much different from commercial, retail, community type pharmacy, right? You get to personalize things specific for a patient. And quite frankly, a lot of people like that. A lot of people like to know that, wow, you actually designed this formula just for me. This is something that my body needs. And I've tried everything else, nothing else works. So thank you for being here and thank you for doing what you do. So yeah. Compounding
is that why you got into it, Didi? Do you just love the creativity element? Like, is that part of your personality? You're like, I can let that shine through inside of compounding, or why did you get into compounding rather than something else?
Yeah, I actually got into compounding because I didn't like anything else anymore. And I've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit. I've always wanted to kind of explore. And quite frankly, I just wanted to do my own thing and work on my own terms, work for myself, work for my family, and not feel like I was enriching someone else and draining myself. And so when I started looking at, well, what kind of business can I set up? I didn't want to steer too far away from pharmacy, which is what I went to school for. It's my profession. And so the only thing I kind of came up with was, what about a compounding pharmacy, and take it a step further and make it a compounding only pharmacy and make it cash only. And so when I started, a lot of people thought, well, that's not smart. I had a lot of people tell me, oh, you're probably not going to make it. You're probably going to fail and this, that, and the other. But hey, it has been the best decision of my life.
No, I think that being the best decision, like, it's such a blessing to have a dream, want to do something and be able to execute and then look back and go, I'm so thankful I did it. And so speaking of all those things, we've got a special guest that joined us, and Zara, and wanted to kind of pass it off to Didi and ask her this question for us, and in whatever way you want to, but really, like, what is with your channel, what does someone get out of it? And I feel like you talking to a former student and friend would be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming on, Zara.
Hey.
Good to see you,
everyone.
Zara.
I just wanted to jump in and give the support and give her my blessing and tell her she's been like a wonderful friend and a mentor, and she really took my hand. And I guess just like Sean said, for me, my experience with compounding is just back in pharmacy school when we used to just mix a teeny tiny stuff and then you're gone. And so it's not like my comfort zone. And then I decided, of course, I'm opening my own pharmacy. I'm like, okay, I have to venture out a little bit from PBM, and I have to find me another diversified technically.
Yes.
So what can I do? And then I started looking around, and there's nothing kind of like on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, a class only for compounding. So, and then I started looking, and then all of a sudden, here we are. Didi is offering a class. I said, okay, can I talk to you maybe a little bit more? I want to just know what you are going to offer so that I can see if it's going to fit within my business. And that's what happened. Before I know it, I signed up with her. And to be honest, I am so happy that I made a decision to go ahead and sign in for the class. Of course, I'm done. We finished in 3 months, and I was already telling her that, okay, I found a couple of clients. I don't want to go big like her, but I already started with vet because we have a lot of vet clinics around and animal hospitals. So even that, I was so intimidated, and I didn't know how to start, how to market, what to say, because I had no idea about compounding. But thanks God, I found Didi. So she kind of like coached me through. She told me what to do. Yes, I was telling her I didn't even know what is 797 and 795 and 800. So they were just throwing all these numbers. I was like, okay, huh? But thanks God, now at least I know the difference. And I know what I want to focus on. And she kind of like help guide me find which market that I want to attack and the strategy and how I can like go and attack and tell doctors, okay, I'm a pharmacist. I know I deal with human, but I'm also experienced with animal as well. And, just give them my expertise. So that's
Amazing.
my thing with Didi's class. And to be honest, she's a very strong entrepreneur that keep pushing ladies, because we have a lot of ladies in the class. Yes. And I'm so happy that I found her.
Wow.
So I just wanted her to come and say something. And honestly, for all RPH ally, I'm so happy that I just joined actually. And yes, and it's a lot of ideas. It's just I want to find a strategy where I can just start implementing a little bit at a time, because as they say, just filling prescription only doesn't work anymore. So I have to find me a way. And there's a lot of pharmacists with very good niche business mentality, and I'm so proud to be a member of RPH ally. So I just wanted to like come in and see something.
Thank you so
and I
much,
hope I didn't
Zara.
take
Wow.
over, guys.
No, we loved it. That was absolutely fantastic. And I love that you knew you had a need, you knew you needed to fill it somehow, and then you went and found a really high quality thought leader to be able to guide you through it and kind of do some hand holding with, how do I get launched? How do I figure out the next steps? How do I understand the complexities? And the fact that you just gave Didi such a wonderful, testament to her skill sets and her ability as a leader and as a mentor is so awesome, Zara. So we really appreciate you coming on and telling us all those things about Didi. We know and we love her internally, but you being able to say that, I think it really validates it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Zara. Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
so
be in
with
the
the
background. Okay.
Yeah. So with the course, I think, the main thing that pharmacists have to know is that, look, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you don't want to wait 30 days to have your checks deposited, if you have bills to pay and you need a fast way to make money, but you also love serving your community, you love to be at the forefront of healthcare, compounding pharmacy is for you. When I started this business, I knew nothing about compounding. I had never compounded, never worked in a compounding pharmacy. I only knew how to make chapstick, like from school, right? From pharmacy school. But now, my business is so complex that, we're making creams with, 6 to 10 ingredients. We're making, suppositories, troches, RDTs, and, it's so vast what you can do in compounding pharmacy. But I think the main thing that is probably going to attract a lot of pharmacists is that this is a cash business. You don't want to be dealing with insurance when it comes to compounding. Charge cash, take your money, deposit it in your account, and move on with life. And life is great.
The simplicity, Didi, you're talking about, I think, is such a blessing, because it gets so confusing and so demanding, and everything from, hey, great, you just got paid by insurance, and then look 30 to 60 to 90 days later and they're clawing it all back anyway. So a lot of those things, to have that level of freedom inside of compounding is wonderful. Zara touched on something that I love, that I'd love to hear more from you on, is really like finding the niche markets in your community to be able to serve them and connect on a one-on-one level with your providers and your patient base. Like to say, there are other options out there. Like I can create something, I can use my imagination, my skill set, my creativity to make something for your patients that's going to bring you as a practitioner more value and your patients more success. And I think that's us. Like that's what we've been trying to do all these years, and we've always been tucked behind the counter. And you're giving an opportunity, I think, for pharmacy to be able to harness that. So what's the reason, Didi, why'd you join RPH Ally? I mean, of course, you love Sean and I so much. You know, that's the reason. But in seriousness, right? But what's the reason you're like, this makes sense for me, and this is why pharmacy should be part of this?
Yeah, you know what? The reason why I joined RPH Ally is because collaboration is key. You know, you can't get very far if you go alone, right? You have to be a part of a coalition. You have to be a part of a pact. You know, a pact is very impactful, right? Like if you see one wolf and you see a pack of wolves, I'll probably run from both.
Smart.
I'll probably still be scared of both. But, you know, a pact comes with so much power. And RPH Ally is that platform for pharmacists. It has the momentum, right, to go global. That's kind of what we're aiming for, right? And we need to be at the forefront of advocating for the practice of pharmacy. No one else can speak for us like the way that we can speak for ourselves, right? So this is really a voice behind the practice of pharmacy, and not just the practice of pharmacy through traditional means, but for all these other avenues. I talked to Kristen, she went live last week about point of care testing. That's something that I'm going to implement into my business, right? That's a collaboration right there. That shows you how collaboration can be so fruitful and can manifest like great opportunities for our businesses, you know? So yeah, RPH Ally is the way to go.
Well, I love that. I literally have a moose walking in front of me right now, Didi, that I know that you're all about, like coming up north, visiting my family and getting to see these moose. We're talking about wolves. So we got a whole animal pack going here. But with the collaboration kind of going on, I love that. Like, I love the fact that we can't be siloed into like, here's my specialty, here's my niche, this is all I know. Because as a profession, like we have to own treatments, we have to own medications and every bit of it that revolves around it. And to do so, you have to have some kind of interspersed conversations amongst individuals. Sean, any other kind of words related to that in RPH Ally or other questions for Didi before we wrap up?
No. I mean, it's ringing true for sure. I mean, it was a couple of years where I was trying to do this myself, and now everyone is coming on board. We got 20 plus thought leaders that are just exceptional, and it is, like you said, the momentum's growing, Didi, and it's exciting and fun. I'm so excited that you're coming with us here too, just because, like, going back to the compounding, like Zara brought it up, $797, no idea, you know, but that's something that they'll learn through your course, right? Through your channel.
Yeah, so my course is actually geared towards non-sterile compounding because I think that the barriers to enter that part of compounding, they're minimal compared to the others. You know, it's so easy, even if you own a retail pharmacy and you have, you know, benazepril, you know, tablets, you can make a suspension out of that, you know, and charge cash for the compound, you know? Yeah. So my course focuses just on 795 compounding.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's very easy to grow into 800 and 797. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for clarifying that, because that is part of the scary stuff when you get into the 797 and the others. But if it's just 795 and you said it's like direct, like you can, well, Zara said she's up and running in 3 months. That's perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that the hand holding to have somebody like Didi, like the reason why we're like, this makes so much sense for a year, because Zara, like just talking to her, there's no way that after 3 months she's gonna be like, you know, Didi, I'm gonna lose your number. Didi and Zara will be talking all the time to be able to make sure the next steps are kind of happening. And I think that's the beauty of having a year-long ability to connect with a thought leader like Didi, is now you've got somebody in your back pocket to walk you through each step. And if you start to explore elements of 800 or 797, even though the course is going to walk you through 795, which builds a ton of skill set, Didi has all the knowledge and background to be able to help you with those other elements if they come into play. Or you have let's say there's a pain provider in the area that needs those kinds of services. Great. Now you've got more time with Didi to be able to help you walk through those next steps in your career. So I absolutely love it.
Even beyond that too. Even beyond that, you know. I mean, I'm always here. I'm not going to disappear, you know. So, yeah, I'm always here. I'm always here to help. I like to be at the forefront of you know, moving the profession forward. So if that is me just rendering my voice and speaking on an experience that I've had in compounding, I'm here for it. You know.
Oh, I love it. And Didi, only thing to knock us off with one time is just anything in the compounding world that you want to leave the audience with that we should be aware of as a profession that's happening in compounding that we need to pay attention to. I know you brought up a couple subjects to me before, but wanted to leave that with the audience.
Yeah. The one thing that I would encourage anyone who's interested in compounding to do is to join APC. They are an amazing platform, amazing organization that's really, you know, those are the ones that are going to Washington for us. They're speaking on our behalf. You know, we've been hit hard in terms of hormone compounding, vet compounding, you know, but we keep moving forward. And so just support those organizations that move the profession forward. That's really, really key. Yeah.
No, I love that. I'm so glad that you're part of our organization that's trying to push the profession forward. And once again, we'll sign you guys off with this. Join RPH Ally. Go to rphally.com. Have all your registration and license information ready to go. And then after you've joined RPH Ally, Compounding for Cash with Didi is right there for you, along with several other channels for you to be able to connect with, and then find your kind of next steps in your career to broaden your perspectives and to hopefully help more patients. So thanks so much, guys. Thank you, Didi, for joining us. We're so excited.
You guys are awesome. Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.